Shalom, all y'all brothers and sisters out there, all the people watching, all the good guys, the bad guys, everybody up there, the Israel of God, y'all Christians up there, even the crazy people that's watching. Today is a special topic. So today I'm actually going over the law, because there's one thing I'm seeing with people who call themselves believers and like other Hebrew groups and other Christian groups. What they're doing is they're not going over exactly the law in general or what you have to do and the things that pertain to the law. They talk about, the apocalypse and prophecies, but it's good sometimes to go over the law so you can know what to do and when to do them, and how the Most High really values like his people and humanity in general. So I'm going to go to John 21:16. Book of John, the Gospel of John, chapter 21, verse 16. Because I just want to show why it's important to teach the law. Alright? Alright. This is John 21 and 16. Yeah, because now, John 21:16. Alright. 1 minute. 21:16. Here it is. So he said unto him again, the second time, Simon, son of Jonas. So this is Christ, who y'all call Jesus, or who you call Yeshua. His Hebrew name is Yahweh Shawai, or Yahweh Shai. He said to him again, the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, loveth thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. That's what he said, feed my sheep. Alright? Verse 17. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, loveth thou me? Alright, Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Loveth thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. So Yahweh or Jesus said unto him, Feed my sheep. So that's the whole purpose, is feeding the Lord's sheep, who is the house of Israel. And it said we have to be a light to these heathenistic Gentiles, so we can know that every single so-called Hebrew out there aren't crazy and bugged out of their mind. So I'm going to go to show you in Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, in the 15th verse. What does he mean when he said feed the sheep? Jeremiah 3:15. It says this, And I will give you pastors according to my heart. This is Jeremiah 3:15. So he's going to give you pastors. Right now you have so many of these heathens calling themselves pastors in the Catholic Church, Baptist, Episcopalian, Methodist, all these Satan worshiping churches, celebrating on Sunday, doing Christmas, Easter, Lent, monthly communion, things like that. Verse Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, according to what the Most High's heart is. That's the Holy Bible, right? You see right here. That's the Most High's heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So that's one thing we got to feed the Most High sheep with, knowledge and understanding. And all that goes into the scriptures, these holy scriptures right here. So, and you also have to bring it back to the days of old. That's why I like to go into the Hebrew a lot, because that was the original language that Christ spoke, Hebrew. Aramaic and Hebrew are the same language. Don't let the Satan worshippers trick you, alright? Same language, is different dialect. So, but it was always called the Hebrew. You won't find the word Aramaic in the New Testament. They just keep calling it Hebrew. So, now, I'm going to also show you about why it's important to keep the laws of the Most High. Alright, so we're going to go to Matthews 19:17. Still talking about keeping the laws of the Most High. Alright. Alright, this is Matthews 19:17. Alright. And he saith unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. To show you that there's a difference between the Son and the Father, Yahweh Shai and Yahweh. They're two different individuals, but they're both on one accord, meaning in one agreement. But if thou wilt enter into life, if you want to enter into life, this is what Christ said. Let's see. Keep the commandments. Wow. Verse 18, he says unto him, which, and Yahushua Jesus said unto him, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So he's just giving a couple of commandments from the original 10. So he's telling you the commandments that he really wants. He said the ones from the law of old, because that was the law of Christ. So he wants you to follow the law. So we're going to go to also Matthew 5 and 18. This is just proving that you still got to follow the law. All right, Matthew 5 and 18. It says, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law to all be fulfilled. All right, so if you want to know what a jot and a tittle is, a jot just means another word for yod or a yah. What you see, the yah symbol, which what they call a yod. A tittle is the crowns, the letter crowns that's above certain words in Hebrew. All right, and it says, it shall no wise pass till all be fulfilled. Let's go to Matthew 6:33. See, those Satan worshipers in the church, they're not going to teach you this. They teach you smooth things, and they go after the people with itching ears. And the main ones who have itching ears are mainly heathens and women, like women laden with iniquity. This is Matthew 6:33. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. What is this righteousness that he's talking about? Let's see what this righteousness is. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 6 and 25 so we can understand what righteousness he's talking about. All right, Deuteronomy 6 and 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God as he has commanded us. So we have to do those commandments. That's going to make us righteous. But to even prove that, we still have to follow the laws of the Most High. We can't just storm, behind our backs like that. This is Romans 3 and 31. It's what Paul said. It says, do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. That means no, on a high level. No, we don't make the void of law through faith. Yea, we establish the law. We make it stronger. So people would say, oh, Paul just done away with the laws, or the law is done away with. You don't have to follow the law. This is gonna cut a lot of these so-called Christians right here. I say so-called because many of these so-called Christians that's in the church aren't really Christians. They're Satan worshipers. Now we're gonna go to Acts 21, and might as well start at 18, so we can understand what's going on. And the day following, Paul went in with us unto James, and all the elders were present. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what the things Most High had wrought amongst the Gentiles by his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord, and saith unto him, thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe. Yeah, so to show you, to let you know that the Jews did believe in Christ. So because the satanic, demonic, so-called Christian in these churches will say that the Jews just don't believe in the New Testament, and the Jews have rejected Christ. All those are lies. It says right here, see his brother, how thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are zealous of the law. People say there's no such thing as a Christian Jew. It says there's thousands of them here. Don't let the Satan worshipers trick you. That's in these churches, all where they're saying, oh, the Jews just waiting for their one-time Messiah. No, the Jews believed in Christ. They said, oh, but Christ, he said that when he came to the Jews, they respected him. No. And John says he came of his own, and his own rejected him. That's a whole nother class right there. Whole nother class to see what that really meant when it says his own. But we're going to go to verse 21. And they are informed of thee, that thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses. So he's saying, yo, is that true, Paul? You going around telling the Jews amongst the Gentiles that to forsake Moses, meaning we don't have to keep the Sabbath day no more. We can do Sunday, we can do Easter, we can do Christmas, Lent. We can have women pastors. We can do all these things. Saying thou ought not to circumcise their children. Yeah, you said circumcising is no more. We don't have to circumcise our children no more. Neither to walk after the customs. Meaning we don't have to follow the customs of Israel. We don't have to put fringes on our garments no more. We don't have to do that no more. We could just walk around in suit and ties on Sundays and having a Sunday service and an Easter party and eat pork and all that. That's what you're saying, Paul? Is that because you said that everything was clean if you pray for it? Is that really what you're saying, Paul? That's what they're saying. Verse 22, what is it therefore? So the disciples already knew that Paul wasn't saying that. It's just that the thing is, understand the letters of Paul. They were written to the bishop of the churches. They weren't just for everybody. The bishop knew what he was talking about. You had to understand ancient biblical slang. Like when he was saying circumcision and uncircumcised, he says let them remain uncircumcised, things like that. That goes into something else. It's not literally talking about circumcising on the foreskins. That's talking about the heart. See, but that goes above these Christians' heads because they don't understand that. All right. It says, verse 22, what is it therefore? The multitude must need come together, for they will hear that thou art come. Do therefore this that we say to thee. We have 4 men which have a vow on them. So they have a Nazarite vow on them. So he says, listen, Paul, become a Nazarite so they know that you really gang hold for the law right here. Take them and purge thyself with them, because you don't ever hear about any Christian church ever taking no Nazarite vow now, do you? What church you know about? The Methodists don't do it. Episcopalians don't do it. What's those bug-out Christians rolling around speaking in gibberish and what they call them? The Pentecostals? Yeah. And they don't even celebrate the day of Pentecost. And women rule a church. You have deaconess in a church. You have bishopess in a churches. You have prophetesses in their churches. That's one thing. You always have new prophetess in their churches. And for some odd reason, these prophetess used to have a background where they used to be prostitutes. Anyway, it says, verse 24, them take and purify thyself with them, and be at charge with them, that they may shave their heads, and all may know that those things whereof they were informed concerning thee are nothing. Paul didn't say that you can eat hog or swine's flesh. Paul didn't tell you to go and worship on Sunday. Paul didn't tell you that to leave your children uncircumcised. Your lack of understanding, because your teachers, these fake satanic pastors, they're the ones who leading y'all astray. That were informed concerning thee are nothing, but thou thyself also walketh orderly and keepeth the law. That's how it is. The Most High says keep the law. So this whole topic today is understanding the law. So we're going to go all the way back into the original 10 Commandments. This is going to be ongoing topics where I'm going to go aspects of the law. The dietary law, the civil laws, unclean laws, things like that. But we're going to start in the most popular one, the 10 Commandments, the law that they had a movie out on. So we're going to go to Exodus. Exodus 20. That's what we're going to start at. All right, Exodus, the 20th chapter. Here we go. Exodus, and we'll start at Exodus 20 and 1. Let's do that then. We're going to dissect this so you can understand what's really going on. It says, and God spake all these words, saying, to show you that, number one, who's the person who's saying this? God is saying this. That's why Christ said, if you want to enter into life, keep these commandments. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Number one, understand this, that y'all black Americans in the United States aren't African. Oh no. Even if you go in history, you will never hear any writings before the 1940s that Africans came to America. They always use the word Negroes. And if you go past, you'll find the Ashanti, the Igbos, the people of Ghana, parts of the Congo, Timbuktu, Mali. Those were known as Hebraic nations of Africa. Those were actually part of the Israelite tribes there that went into Africa. And they were enemies with the other Africans, such as the Zulus and the Watusis and the Marseilles and things like that, and the Bushmen. They hated them, and it was a little strife. So you understand this. There's a difference between you and the Egyptians. This is going to cut many of those people that's into that, what's that Kemetic and that Kemetic yoga. What's that guy? But still, people who's into that Egyptology, they call themselves Kemet. It says, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Think about that. You shall have no other gods before him. So, a lot of these people think that it's okay to have respect to the sand god in Arabia, or the rice god in Buddhism, or things like that, or Shango, the god of the Japanese, or Wiccans and things like that. He says you're not supposed to be respecting them. You're not even supposed to be naming those guys. I'm going to get into that also as we move on. Let's go to Exodus 22 and 20, because it says, prove all things. The Satan worshipers in the church, they're not proving nothing. Exodus 22 and 20. He that sacrifices unto any god save the Lord only, he shall utterly be destroyed. Meaning, you can't one day worship the Most High and be up in a Buddhist temple with Krishna and all of them. You can't do that, or having respect to these other gods. And also, sacrificing, if you want to really know what's deeper, Christ said the sacrifice of the Most High is a thankfulness of the lips. So when people over there be saying that Arabic, Rakim and Salaikum and all that, things like that, it's automatically you're thinking that they're pushing that Islam on you. Or when they're going with those Christian worshippers and the Buddhism, there's so many different gods in this world, and now you have the new gods newly created, which are these celebrities. And people want to always speak about these celebrities and imitate them, not knowing that they're imitating demons. Yeah, it's a really serious thing. Need more proof. Exodus 23:13. All right. This is Exodus 23:13. Now this is going to get deep on y'all. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. Understand what's going on. Just be circumspect. Know your surroundings when you're going to another place. Know what area you're living in. Know what they're doing. All your friends and your families. All these things. What they're doing. Be circumspect. Be smart. What's going around. You live in some evil days. And make no mention of the names of other gods. Neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. So you're not even supposed to be talking about these other gods. Yeah, you be having like Beelzebub and all of them, and Murdoch in the Bible and things like that, and Moloch. Those are the reason why it's named. Those other gods are named in the Bible because he's condemning them. It's different when he says not to be talking about, meaning talking about stories of like Zeus and things like that. You're not supposed to be going into the Greek gods like that. Now, if you're condemning them, that's a different time. Because even Elijah, he was over there condemning their gods, and he was making fun of their priests. Yeah, that's when you're condemning them. It's a little different, but make mention of them like it's in common talk. Why? Because that might lead you to start worshiping them. Same thing going with these celebrities. Why would you even want to always talk about these celebrities, about their lifestyle? They're doing some weird, nasty things undercover. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 12:29. Like I said, I'm dissecting this law. See, these pastors in the churches, they gonna get mad. They don't like doing that. They want people to feel good, things like that. Deuteronomy 12:29. It says this. Wait, we can start at 12:30. Take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared. So don't be trapped up, right? Be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after the gods, their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so I do likewise. So in other words, he's saying that like during the time when the Israelites was going into Canaan, there was going to be gods all around. They had to burn their gods, burn the city. It says you shouldn't be thinking about, I wonder if there's any books around to see how they used to serve these gods. No, you have to understand, the Canaanites, they were very perverted people. They had done a lot of nasty orgies, and it was strip clubs. And yeah, there was strip clubs back then. There was strip clubs back then. There's nothing new under the sun. What the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 1:9 is true. There was strip clubs back then. You don't want you involved in that. The Canaanites were into transvestite. Yeah, there was some of that too. Yeah, eating their flesh raw, having sex orgies, all that. It says Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared. The word snared is another word for trapped. Meaning you end up looking at it a little too much or reading about it too much, start doing it. By following them, following these people that's going after these false gods. After that, they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire, meaning you asking around, that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. So you're not even supposed to be going after other nations to serve their gods. The Most High destroyed them for a reason. There's a reason why they were destroyed. There's a reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. There's a reason why Jericho was destroyed. And guess what? And people rebuilt it again, and that curse on Jericho came to fruition. But that's a whole nother topic. Now, go to Deuteronomy 32:16. All right? Like, we're dissecting this. The pastors, they don't like this now. Especially once we go to the part about the Sabbath, they're going to get really mad. Because these pastors, they worship Satan. Deuteronomy 32:16. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. All these gods and also all these celebrities out there imitating celebrities. With abominations, provoked they him to anger. But abominations, like number one, if fornication, really, if you want to know, is just sex without the intent to making anybody, to bring it into marriage. You're not even committed to that. You're doing it for fun, sex for pleasure, without no intent of marriage. And how many people do that? A whole lot of people. They rap about it. They sing about it. They always talk about it. That's the norm for teenagers now. Yeah, those are abominations. 17. They sacrifice unto devils, not to the Most High. To gods whom they knew not. To new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not, like these celebrities. Now people want to pour out drink offerings to the celebrities. When they see celebrities, they saying, blow out the crystal. They shaking up the champagne. That's pouring out the drink offerings. Or they join into little banquets where these celebrities come down to. These rap artists, these rock and roll groups, things like that. That's known as what? Worshiping these false gods. Why? How come I say celebrity? The Most High tells you about worshiping the sun, moon, and stars. What's another word for celebrity? A star. Why they gotta call them that? Why can't they just call them like talented people or things like that? Or artists. That used to be the old term for celebrity, artists. No, they have to push it a little high. No, y'all stars. Y'all are gods now. Remember, that's what Satan wants you to think, that you're gods now. Only if you follow the Lord and your sons of the Most High. Then the Most High says, I called you gods because y'all are children of the Most High. If you knew the type of power that Israel had when they followed the Most High, knowing about King David, Samson, Solomon, Moses, these people had spiritual powers. Yeah. But now it says you die like men because you ain't following the Most High. Yeah. So like I said, we're going to dissect this law right here. All right. So now we're about to go now back to Exodus. We're saying we can't have no other gods before us. No other gods before me. That's what the Most High said. So this is Exodus 20:4. It says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. So in other words, when it says the word graven, people would stumble when it says graven. So that's why you have to understand. The word graven comes from the Hebrew word pasol, all right? Pasol, which means to be carved in, to engrave, all right? It's not talking about like a little drawing in a book or things like that. That's not what it's talking about. Because you have certain like hardcore Hebrews or things like that saying you just can't like do little drawings there and there. It comes a sin once you start making an image out of it to bow down in our adoration. Yeah. But it's a graven means to engrave. That's known as a graven image right there. It says, you shall not make to thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or that is in the earth beneath. So nothing in heaven, sun, moon, and stars, or any birds in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So you're not supposed to make anything in the sea or in the earth as a statue, a graven image. And verse 5. it says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So I'm going to go deeper into that part where it says the iniquities of the fathers, because that right there is deep. I'm going to go back to graven, where so we can always have a witness and understanding. We're going to go to Leviticus 19:4. So this is Leviticus 19:4. It says, turn ye not unto the idols, nor make to yourself molten gods. I am the Lord your power. Molten meaning you melting them up like in gold, in silver, or in clay. Things, little idols that you be seeing people in Africa or in India do, or the Roman Catholic Church, which are known to do it. The weird thing about the Roman Catholic Church, they tell you to do the things that the Lord and the Bible tell you not to do. They have a whole lot to answer for. The Lord said, don't make graven image or bow down to it. The Catholic Church tell you to make graven images and bow down to it. The Roman Catholic Church said they do a lot of things. It says like to follow the Sabbath day. They say follow Sunday, follow Lent. They do so many things that the Most High say just don't do. And these other Protestants just follow them. The Baptists and Pentecostals and things like that. We're going to get into some of that later. Alright? But I just want to prove what the word graven means. It means to engrave. That's what it means. A statue. That's what it means. Alright? Now, and it says, thou shalt not bow thyself to them, nor serve them. But you be seeing the Catholics and what the Essenians do, bowing down to all these images and all that. And serve them. For I, thy Lord, the God, am a jealous God. Alright, now, this is where it's going to get. He's jealous, right? So, remember that. He's a jealous God, right? Let's just talk about that little jealousy now, just for a minute. Because understand why the Most High, if you're going to call yourself a child of the Most High, you have to also understand, like, you have to be ready to take that divine punishment that's gonna come after you if you disrespect him. Because he says like, not only is he a jealous God, he will punish those that he loves. All right. So this is gonna be Deuteronomy 4th chapter and 19. So this also goes into that graven images and also worshiping of celebrities. This gets worshiping celebrities out of here. So Deuteronomy 4:19. At least thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou shalt see the sun and the moon and stars, the sun. It's odd that they call it Sunday, and where all these people in the church just gotta worship. But we're gonna get into that later. See, it's the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven. Shouldest thou be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all the nations under the whole heaven. All right, and we're gonna jump to verse 23 now. It says, take heed unto yourselves, lest you forget the covenant of the Lord your God, which he hath made unto you, and make you a graven image. So a graven image, like I said, a statue, or the likeness of anything which the Lord thy God has forbidden thee. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God. Once you start doing that, that's a very high level sin. When you start doing that, the Most High, he'll start having that evil eye on you. Like, oh, I thought we was cool now. And you gonna do this to me? That's a stab in the back. So the Most High, he's very serious about doing that, making graven images and bowing down to him. You don't like those things. People over there bowing down to images saying it's art. Now, back to Exodus 20:5. It says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy power, or thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Oh, what does that mean? Well, who knows what that means? The third and fourth generation, meaning the Most High. Let's say people be thinking that once they die, they don't have to follow any punishment. Nah. Once I start putting those punishments on your children, that's the thing. And I'm going to prove it, your third and fourth generation. Like some of these people, if they done some evil stuff, and their parents done evil stuff. Let's say if you had a group of people who came to another country, and they said they discovered the country and there were people here, and they gave the people blankets and killed all of them, and those people just had children and they had children, those children still had to pay for what their fathers have done. Or let's say there was another people who took a whole other people from one area and brought them in as slaves and made them work for free for 400 years, and slowly, but their parents who did that died off. I mean, their children's children still got to pay for that, and I'll prove it. I'm just saying, look in history, whatever people done that.